Hi everyone, I'm Alice.
And I'm Lily.
And this is the 21st episode of
Waterfront Wednesdays.
If you count all the episodes I did with Jill,
and all the on-assignment episodes I worked on over the summer,
and all the special guest episodes we've been working on.
And they've all been brought to you by
Boston Harbor Now. We are 1 year in.
1 whole year of Waterfront Wednesdays.
And this episode is going to be about why we started making this vlog and some of the things we learned about along the way.
Yeah, as someone who started off as an intern and is now on staff as a content coordinator, it's been a great way to learn about so many harbor topics.
We wanted to talk about things that might be a little bit niche or a little bit nerdy and make them more understandable to a wider audience, like you.
We could have written a blog or maybe done a podcast.
But we thought a video would be a really cool way to share ideas, channel a little bit of my former teacherness, and we happen to have some really talented people on staff who could help us make it happen behind the scenes.
So we decided to create Waterfront Wednesdays.
Even though we try to pick topics that we know a little bit about, we find ourselves learning a fair amount along the way in between the research and the guests that we bring in.
Yeah, I feel like I'm learning so much every day, but what are some of the things you're learning about?
Well, before I talked to Jack Murray about the beaches episode, I thought I knew how dirty Boston Harbor was. I did not know how dirty Boston Harbor was. Like, the oilies.
Oh, right. Oh, the oilies.
What are the oilies?
Well, the oilies are way back when, on a hot summer day, the kids used to jump off the piers in East Boston and Charlestown and jump into the water and come out covered in sheen and oil.
That's disgusting.
That was really gross. Makes me appreciate how clean our beaches are and how we shouldn't take that for granted and just how many we have in the harbor.
Yeah, there's been an interesting climate change twist since we made that episode. We normally focus on sea level rise and the ocean coming into the city, but there's also going to be a likely increase in extreme precipitation events. Several happened this summer, and we discovered the implications of combined sewer overflows.
Right, so Jack said it's rare for bacteria counts to exceed public health standards, but when more rain falls in a shorter period of time, it causes rainwater and sewer water to mix.
And while BWSC, the Boston Water and Sewer Commission, is working to separate sewer systems and has done that around lots of parts of the city, and they're still working on it, there are also going to be extreme rain events that the pipes just aren't prepared to handle. They're just too big for that much water.
Yikes, that's not good.
No. What's one of your favorite episodes?
Well, I learned so much when I went to Pierce Park. I went sailing with Nathan and Yacht, who both grew up doing a sailing after school program there, and they completed their Future Leaders program to become fully fledged youth instructors.
Had you been sailing before that?
No, that was my first time.
What was it like being out on the harbor in a boat that size?
It was so cool. We launched from East Boston, and then out there on the water, I could see everything. I could see all the different Boston neighborhoods.
That's something I love about sailing in the inner harbor. It's small enough that you start to recognize buildings, but you also recognize certain vessels that you're regularly seeing. It wasn't until we filmed the Cruisin' into Boston episode that I realized how much the cruise ships are there or aren't there, and I started to really pay attention to them. Were you on Spectacle for that special summer night with the great sunset?
I was. That was so cool. The sky was on fire, and that giant cruise ship was right there in front of us.
Yeah, to realize they sort of tend to depart at sunset was pretty cool. And then I know when they're missing now, too. We did a walk with Massport through the seaport back in October, and there was a moment when we were supposed to have cruise ships there. We weren't supposed to be able to walk through the Raymond L. Flynn Black Falcon cruise terminal, but we could because the cruise ships were stuck out at sea in a storm, and we discovered there were all these buses just waiting for those passengers to come off.
Right. I mean, I'm just surprised by how many people stop at Cruiseport every year.
Yeah.
Actually, the episode that really surprised me was the one on Phil. I also didn't realize how the shoreline itself has changed over time. Like how Back Bay was literally Back Bay, and how Seaport's shipping infrastructure is all built on Phil.
Yeah. And since we made that episode, a really cool book has come out. It's called The Atlas of Boston History by Nancy Seychelles. And in it, she works with cartographers who have figured out how to make maps of historic times in Boston, and they change up the street grid accordingly, but they also show the exact shoreline of whatever it was in whatever map they're making.
Wow, that's so cool. You know, I really got to borrow that book from you.
Happy to loan it to you.
I love to see how the land filled in over time around Long Wharf, you know, especially after we went filming out there during King Tide.
Yeah, we like to go down during the King Tide because it will show people what with sea level rise, a high tide could look like. But I also think that was the day that the Boston Globe photographer caught you out there.
Oh, yeah, it was, I think.
One of the perks of the job.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Lily Bow.
And I'm Alice Brown. If you've been watching these episodes for a whole year, thank you.
And if you're just discovering Waterfront Wednesdays, we hope you'll go back and check out our past episodes.
And if you miss Jill, know that we do too. Since July, she has been the director of the Waterfront Initiative at the Barr Foundation. You can still follow her on Twitter at Harbor Horwood, and we hope to have her back on a future episode.
You can follow Boston Harbor Now on Twitter or follow Alice at Fairy Fairy.
It's true. And if you like these videos, we really hope that you will tell your friends and subscribe to this channel.
Leave us a like or tell us in the comments what you want to learn about in future episodes.
We'll see you on the waterfront.